Muhammad Qasim Nanawtawi was born in the year 1833 on the outskirts of the North Indian city of Saharanpur during British rule in India. Nanawtawi was born into a religious Muslim family, and during his youth he studied the Quran and mastered the Urdu, Persian and Arabic languages. Nanawtawi soon became a famous Imam, and he used his platform to speak out against the injustice of the British. In 1857, Imam Nanawtawi declared a jihad against the British and led an army of religious students in a rebellion against the British. Imam Nanawtawi's army was armed with rifles and swords, and he managed to launch a successful raid against a British military post, killing over 100 British soldiers. Imam Nanawtawi's army then looted the British weapons and eventually captured many towns and villages in the district of Saharanpur. However, Imam Nanawtawi's rebellion was crushed shortly after the arrival of British reinforcements. During this battle, Imam Nanawtawi was shot in the nose, but he managed to escape and went into hiding. However, Imam Nanawtawi was later pardoned by the British on the condition that he did not revolt against them again. After his failed rebellion, Imam Muhammad Qasim Nanawtawi decided that instead of violence, he had to use social reform and education in order to fight the British. He stated, "The Sultanate and the wealth of the Muslims was taken away. Wealth is something that comes and goes, but religion should be preserved at all costs." In order to fight the British ideologically, Imam Nanawtawi began openly debating Christian missionaries in order to prove the superiority of Islam and prevent Indians from being deceived by British propaganda. On one occasion, Imam Nanawtawi debated the famous Christian missionary known as Father Knowles. During the debate, Father Knowles suggested that both him and Imam Nanawtawi should be given 5 minutes to explain the virtues of their religion, followed by another 5-minute period for question and answers. Imam Nanawtawi rejected this proposal and stated, "Even worldly matters and disputes are resolved after weeks of discussions. How can the virtues of a religion be explained in 5 minutes? Perhaps 5 minutes are enough for religions with only 1 or 2 virtues, but impossible for a religion like Islam that has thousands of virtues." Upon hearing this, Father Knowles agreed to have an open discussion with Imam Nanawtawi, and their discussion lasted for many hours. After the debate, Imam Nanawtawi invited Father Knowles to the religion of Islam and stated, "Your sincerity and passion for God's servitude is praiseworthy. I urge you to embrace the most complete religion, which is Islam." Father Knowles replied, "I thank you for thinking so much about my welfare, and I will keep your advice in mind." On another occasion, Imam Nanawtawi was challenged by a Hindu religious leader. The Hindu leader challenged Imam Nanawtawi and brought 2 large plates of food in front of the public and stated, "You and I will both try to eat the food in these plates in one sitting. Whoever finishes the food without collapsing, his God has helped him and his religion is true." Imam Nanawtawi replied, "Eating in large quantities is the work of animals, not humans. In contrast, God has given humans the power to control their desires. So instead, I challenge you to spend 1 week without eating or drinking." Upon hearing this challenge, the Hindu leader walked away. Besides debating Christians and Hindus, another way in which Imam Nanawtawi preserved the values and traditions of Indian Muslims after the rise of British rule was to establish Islamic schools across the country. The largest of these schools was the Darul Uloom Deoband Islamic University, which was built by Imam Nanoutwi in 1866. In this university, education was provided to Muslims free of charge, and they were taught the Quran, the sayings of the Prophet, Islamic law, philosophy, and poetry. Besides building schools, Imam Nanoutwi also wrote many books, such as his books on the lives of the prophets, as well as his translations of the works of Imam al-Ghazali. Imam Muhammad Qasim Nanawtawi continued to act as a social reformer until he passed away in the year 1880.